well.
Thank you so much for joining us here in 2019, beginning of the watch year. I saw Mr. Biver when he came to Singapore, and one of the things I wanted to ask him was what was his motivation, because I had done sort of an analysis of his career, and he actually, despite his incredible success, I came to the conclusion he was not motivated by money, right? And I think his motivation was his passion for this. And then I asked him, okay, but what do you consider to be your greatest success then? And he said, my greatest success is the people that I've worked with who have been my collaborators and the next generation of leaders. And he said, the thing that he's most proud of is you, in fact. So how does that make you feel, Ricardo?
Yeah, I'm really proud and honored that he says that about me. And in a way, I've been the person that I've been working with him for the longest, because we started together in '94 at Blancpain, so it's going to be 25 years of common activities, and I started being, let's say, an employee in Blancpain. He was really my boss, and throughout the years we have become friends, and this is the most important for me. And of course, if I would say in my career, he's really my mentor.
Yes.
And also thanks to him that I had the success that I have today.
I've never asked you that. How did you come to Blancpain? How did the relationship with Mr. Biver evolve?
In fact, I was working at Bulgari. I studied at Bulgari, which is a great jewelry brand, and they were doing watches at that time in '88. Right. And
they did some cool watches back then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the Bulgari that was designed also by Gerard Janta. Yeah. And in our industry, Jean-Claude Biver was already a big star. And
yes.
When you look at Blancpain, what they were doing, the 6 masterpieces, for me it was kind of a dream, to really work, let's say, in a more traditional watchmaking brand, because Bulgari is more jeweler than a watchmaker.
Right.
So, and I met him through a supplier, so a case maker, a case manufacturer at Basel in, I think in '93.
Wow.
And, the first time I met him, and he said to me immediately, I need guys like you,
know. So you met him, so you started around '93 then?
Yeah, so I met him for the first time in '93, and after, in '94, I met him again, and there he really insisted in a way, or offered me a job in a way, and I said yes, but it was really quick.
Incredible.
Really a real interview or whatever. It was really in front of the Blancpain booth, in Basel.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So because by that point he had already achieved all the references, the 1735, all the different
6 masterpieces.
6 masterpieces. He'd also by that point sold his brand
in '92 to SMH Swatch Group at that time. Yeah.
Yes, and then by that point he was also installed in Swatch Group doing some amazing stuff. He was bringing Omega to China.
Absolutely.
Putting James Bond on Omega on James Bond, and then overseeing Blancpain at the time. What was it like to work with him during this period? It must have been quite incredible,
Yes. Well, Blancpain was a bit in not a very good shape, because when he sold the brand, they had let's say a down in sales, because some people, some retailers, they didn't really appreciate that he sold the brand to SMH. But after we recovered and we came back, and so it was really interesting and really powerful, because with him really I learned what is the product, what is the marketing. So for me it was an incredible experience, because I was really directly working with him, and it was really unbelievable, very powerful, very strong, a lot of work, but it was for me an incredible experience.
Amazing. And I think that one of the things that he is really good about, I always makes me laugh when he tells a story about how he and Kevin Rowland Hagen went to China, and they basically would drink Mao Tai with every Chinese retailer until no one could drink anymore. But then the point is that for him, personal relationships were very important. And would you say that was something that he taught you and that you continue to do? Or?
Yes, absolutely. That was really important. And he teach me that as well, So of course I'm different than Jean-Claude. He's unique in a way,
Sure.
And we did with Blancpain also more or less the same approach. We started to enter China in '96.
Right.
So at the beginning it was we were selling 1 watch per month,
Wow.
And after 2, after 3, and I would say that that was really the beginning. And today I would say that Blancpain had an incredible success, also thanks to the work that has been done already in the '90s in China.
Right, and I think in around '04, I think it was the first time I met Mr. Biver in Tempest in Singapore, and he'd already had the plans for the Big Bang. And then I think I met you around the same time as well.
Yes.
I think you were the CEO of was it Leonardo?
Leonardo, yeah.
Right? And then but I think you were already you guys were already kind of thinking about what the future for Hublot was going to be. When he approached you to say, Ricardo, this is what I want to do, what did you think of Hublot at that moment, or his idea?
Well, I would say I met him before already in 2003.
Right.
And he was already thinking about taking a brand.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Hublot was on the table, but also other brands.
I know he was thinking about Frank Muller at one point as well.
Frank Muller. We're speaking De Bethune,
Right.
we're speaking other brands,
Right.
and I had a lunch with him, in Lausanne, and with Hublot, we saw immediately, the potential, because the brand was good, the product had a good identity, so we discussed together, and he saw himself, of course, the potential, and he told him, I'm going to call Mr. Croco, the owner, and in case really I take over, I would like, are you ready to join me for this new challenge? And I said, of course, and I remember he called me in May 2004.
Yes.
I was in Vegas
Yes.
at the JCK with Leonard.
Yes.
And he said,
Wow.
I'm taking, so you join? I said, yes, give me just a few months to, but
Sure.
already I met him in June with Mr. Croco, and I really helped him on the product development.
Okay.
So
Cool.
on the side, because we had, just 8 months to come with a new product. So
It's incredible
that was,
to me that today this is, which is an icon, that basically you guys created this in 8 months, and do you feel that sometimes the best things are, created out of necessities? Like we have to be ready, we have to design something.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So that was key, and I remember we came with 20 or 25 prototypes at Basel in 2005,
Right.
and there, immediately we had the feeling that the product was quite good, because we met some retailers, some friends, and we feel that. But of course, we never thought that this will be so incredible.
Yes, because it was at the time there was really no one else doing anything that was contemporary watchmaking. I think Richard, but Richard was quite niche.
Yes.
And then I think AP had touched a bit at this, but not had fully embraced it. So, like, what was the reaction to people as you were showing them the watch? Were they just like, "Wow, it's so cool,"
Yeah, I would say there were two reactions. Also, maybe the classic retailer of Hublot for the last 20 years, they were not that positive, because it was a shock,
Right.
Compared to the classic
I can imagine.
of Hublot. And I think for new others that are really people that we believe understand what's going on, they were really saying that's incredible, and it's going to be a huge hit. And of course, the most important is also finding this message, the art of fusion,
Yes.
that made the difference, to
Right.
make watches that respect the tradition, but connects you through innovation. And this was a key element, and still today for me it's easy, because this art of fusion made everything,
Yes.
through materials and through movements.
And
now.
to people, the connection that you
Yeah.
have with musicians like Nicky Jam,
After, of course, the
Max
product, and after all, what is the storytelling around.
But the art of fusion was the central foundation.
Yeah,
Right?
and this is revolutionary. I think this is something before and after the art of fusion, and you can see today that some other brands, let's say on materials, for instance, are also following, which is good. We're showing that we really went on the right trend.
Yes. I remember it was always funny to me a little bit, because Mr. Biver was like, I know his plan was to purchase the entire brand, but then he made it too successful, because I think shortly, in just a few years, I think by the time LVMH Group came into the picture, there was like something like 49.5 million in profit, but I think I was always super impressed by the fact that if you went to the Hublot team, you look at who the Hublot team, it was run like a startup. It was just like 8 guys, and all super driven and making one of the most successful brands. I mean, what's the magic of this team?
I think, that's talented people, at the end, that have a lot of quality, So he really built a team that we always can compare to football, that can play in Champions League. So thanks to that team, we have been able really to grow and to reach that Champions League of watchmaking art, So and this he has built this team through the years, with me, with a few others, Valérie Servageant, for instance, and that's a key element, of course, because behind the brand, behind the company, there are people, and the philosophy is really to have the best. And today, still now, we're a bigger brand, a bigger company, but we always try to keep first the spirit of a startup, so to be very flexible, to really anticipate, to never say no to ideas, and to make the impossible possible. And that's, I think, why also we are keeping to having success in the last years.
And to react quickly as well.
Yeah.
Would you say, because it seems like there's two models right now for watch brands to go. One is that they are focusing more on themselves rather than partnerships, and the other one is focusing on partnerships, keeping the multi-brand retailer, keeping partnerships for boutiques and so on like that. I know Hublot has always championed partnerships. Why is that important to you?
Yeah, I think the product is always in the center, and after we go around with different words, and the partnerships are really important to really have the support and to give the possibility to talk to the consumers and to the potential consumers of tomorrow. So through football, I think also that was a kind of vision to enter football, because in football you can touch everybody. It's very, of course, billions of people, but you can touch your consumer, you can touch the consumer of tomorrow. And the brand awareness made through football has been unbelievable. Thanks to football, most of the people know that Hublot is a watch brand. And after Ferrari, this is our second pillar, we have been more focused, let's say, on our potential consumer directly, and we have been able to really sell our watches to Ferrari owners, cars. And after, we want really to create a world of Hublot through art, through lifestyle, through music, to be able really to get new platforms of communication that relay really what is Hublot. And the ambassadors today are quite important, so we use them also, like Usain Bolt, like Nicky Jam, to really make the promotion of the brand through their activity,
What I find is very interesting is that there are some brands that are sort of mono product brands, and there are some brands, Hublot has one very strong foundation, which is the Big Bang. Mm-hmm. But to see the way in which you extrapolate so many different versions of it, each of which has got its unique appeal, this is super important, because this is what's engaging a customer to become a repeat customer, right?
Yes.
Would you say that's important?
Yes, I think that's important. But for us, we have been able, to have this Big Bang is our main pillar, and to create a collection called Classic Fusion, which is really the redesign, let's say, of the classic Hublot in a way.
Right.
But if we would have done that as the first product, we wouldn't have the success that we have. We need really something so strong that, like the Big Bang.
You need the rupture.
And the rupture, exactly. And the Classic Fusion now is also a collection that allows people, let's say, maybe that the Big Bang is too much for them, to come to the brand through, let's say, more sensible product, more sport chic, like the Classic Fusion. So I think with those two pillars, it's really the right balance for us.
I find the way people are wearing watches is different. In the past, it was always that you had to be dressed in a certain way, and then you would wear a certain watch. Now, in some ways, the watch is defining the way that you dress, in that you can see a lot of guys that are really elegant, but like in a t-shirt, in jeans, in sneakers, and then with a watch and maybe one accessory, a ring or a necklace or something. And I see that the watches that you've engineered have been engineered and designed to be that type of accessory, to be that eye-catching accessory that defines the entire person's style. Would you say that's a very conscious decision on your part?
Yeah, absolutely. I think today you need really to have a product which is has a strong identity, and that can be, of course, through the design, the Big Bang you can recognize, and through the materials and the colors, the sapphires, the ceramics. And I think that, the consumers of today, they use a watch more as an accessory. And what I say, we want to do piece of art, so we don't sell anymore a watch to give time, nobody looks at what, it's irrelevant. Yeah. So we must really create something, an object that it's a piece of art that has a differentiation, and that can be worn in a different aspects or different type of moments. And today it's true that the trend is not anymore, it's people that have a great t-shirt, great jeans, not anymore a suit and a tie, like I am dressed, that's so today the consumer is really totally different.
Last question. So, Mr. Biver stepped down from the board, but I think he's probably on to some new adventures. What would you say during this last period that you worked together with him at LVMH Group? What has been that experience like, and what do you wish for him for the future?
I think that what he has done. It's great, for me to work with him is always fantastic, and because we have a so close relationship, and I think he has done very good things, either for Zenith and TAG Heuer as well, putting really TAG Heuer again on the map of this industry. And I would say that Jean-Claude Biver is a very active person, so I think he will never retire, but he will find a way to have new projects for sure. And I told him I will always be on his side to give him advices, or he needs an opinion, to give my opinion, and I'm sure he will find something interesting.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ricardo.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you.